Hello Taurus, Taurus rising and Taurus moon people. This is your monthly astrological horoscope for August 2017. And stay tuned guys, I'm going to be putting a special video up on the Uranus retrograde. That's going to be going on this week. It'll be coming out this week at some point in time, but I do feel like it's important. It's the last time Uranus is going to go retrograde. Committed to Aries, and so it's going to have a special twist to it as opposed to, what's usually been happening the last few years. Now, of course we're going to talk about the eclipses in this video, so, don't worry about that. And of course, remember guys, if you do want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com. So, what is going on with August? Well, we've got a couple of leftover energies for the vast majority of the month. We've got Venus in Cancer in your third house of communications, pacts, and promises, as well as your relationships with family members of your generation, siblings, cousins, things like that. And when we have Venus in this sign, it's time to be thinking about how do we patch up links with our strongest support system and our strongest social connections. Where have wires become a little bit frayed? Where have we maybe started losing touch? Maybe we've started drifting apart from people that were close to us. This is also a great time for those of you to start promoting yourselves. Maybe you're trying to promote a product, push an initiative forward at work, get somebody important, a peer, a colleague, to kind of back you up. If you're looking for any kind of references or anyone to kind of be a guinea pig or a support system this month when it comes to, again, anything to do with work or a personal passion, this is the time to be doing it. With Venus in the third house, we're also talking about speeding things up when it comes to developments regarding any kind of, financial deal that's kind of hanging out back there. Venus in the third house, those conversations, that bargaining, that negotiating is going to go a lot easier. And some of you may be even finding love on the road. We also have Mars in Leo, in your fourth house of home and family. And this may make for a bit of a rough month and yet a good month at the same time. That's what happens. You got to be able to take the good with the bad. It's not simple. And with Mars in the fourth house, this can actually be a really, really strong month, especially for those of you who are looking to do something about, changing your home environment towards something for the better. If we need to do some home repair work, maybe some of you are out there looking to bring more people into the home. Maybe you're looking for a new roommate, or you're looking to hire help on the home. You're trying to do some landscaping. This is all wonderful energy for that. If you're looking to move and you're looking to do a home share situation, or you're looking to maybe even get renters for a property that you own, this is also really helpful because Mars does bring money as well. It's just money through labor. Mars tends to benefit the buyers in a lot of situations like this as well. So if you're house hunting for a place to purchase, it's especially auspicious for you Taurus people. I will say though, with Mars in the fourth house, this can again raise tensions in the home, in the domicile. This can be issues with family, but it would relate to your natal family, mother, father, brother, sister type of energy, or people you share your home space with, such as roommates or possibly even close neighbors. And some tension may be bubbling up this month, so don't let yourself get hijacked by that energy, but also at the same time, it's coming out maybe because it needs to. On the 7th of the month, we've got our full moon lunar eclipse in Aquarius, and this is one of the big ones that gets hyped up. Now remember, lunar eclipses bring the endings, and solar eclipses bring the beginnings. A lot of people get those two confused. Some people worry that they both mean endings. They don't. And with lunar eclipses in the 10th house of career, which is where it is for you, really do have a tendency to bring us an opportunity to really give our career or our work life a big boost, but it comes with a price. And there may be some sacrifice that we know we have to make over the course of the next, 4 or 5 months in order to make this realized. Now, this lunar eclipse may be on the 7th, but that energy will be with us well until about the end of October, beginning of November, when it's in its prime. After that, it kind of dilutes. And with lunar eclipse here, again, this could be a way to promote yourself, change careers, get into a more lucrative position, get into a more lucrative, workspace. But there is a sacrifice. What are we sacrificing? Are we going to have to transfer? Does that mean leaving the client base and the customer base we know and trust? Does it mean leaving the workforce we know and trust? Does it mean having to physically move? This is something that you have to pay attention to. I do believe in free will. I am not a determinist astrologer. There's no point in studying astrology unless you, really want to be able to, work with and around certain things. And I think that with the lunar eclipse in Aquarius, you're going to see that this may be something that you're not meant to pass up. This actually could be quite benefic for you. On the 12th, we've got Mercury turning retrograde in your 5th house of love and romance and your relationships with your children. And pretty much from the 12th all the way up until the 31st of the month, you may be actually reconnecting with people. Whether it's reconnecting with old crushes, reconnecting with old loves, or even reconnecting with your own kids if things have been a bit drifting, if there's been a period of long silence, or maybe communications have just been a little bit hard, a little bit confusing. With Mercury retrograde, though, in the 5th house of love and romance, it's important not to commit to any new plans that you make with a new person that you meet, an old crush if you're single, or again, a new person, your partner, your spouse, your kid. Don't make a hard and fast rule with the new plan of action or the new status quo that you guys try to work on, because it's an experimental period to see how we better relate, and it may actually better connect us to have it be a little bit more loose than to set something hard and fast in the middle of a Mercury retrograde, because that would be overturned by the time it went direct in September. So I think that what you want to pay attention to is that we're kind of getting to know each other all over again in all of these areas this month. On the 21st, we've got a solar eclipse in Leo, in that 4th house of home and family and your relationships with kids. And this not relationships with kids, well, your kids could be living there, but your home and family sector. And a solar eclipse in the 4th house, Taurus, could indicate, again, a move coming your way. And a lot of, this energy seems to be really supporting that. Over the next, again, 4 or 5 months, remember we want to understand that there's a window, there could be an opportunity for you to move somewhere. There could be an opportunity for you to purchase a new property or to actually get something more for your home. When we see a new moon, this could also be an addition to your home. This could be a new pet. This could be a new child. This could be a physical addition to, you may even be noticing the value of either your home or a piece of property or a piece of family property that you share ties with has increased in value in some fashion, and you may also be able to get a cut of whatever that increase is. So it's a very, very interesting push there. There's an expansion, though, of your home base, though, this month. On the 22nd, we've got the Sun going into Virgo, into your 5th house of love and romance, and again, your relationship with your kids, and we're talking about healing. We're talking about shining a light on what we can restore, what we can get more out of in this area. When we look at the Sun in the Virgo energies, we typically see, where do we have an opportunity to clear some kind of cloud that's looming over an existing connection? If you're single and you don't have kids, the Sun here may actually put you in a situation where you can attract people to yourself, but it may require you to do the healing with a new person that you didn't do with somebody else. And that's a dangerous game to play. I don't encourage it. I think that's cross-contaminating your intentions. So you're going to have to know the difference between what the new person is and what the old situation was, and don't mix the two. Otherwise we're just, hurting an innocent party and dragging them through the mud. But with the Sun going into the 5th house, there is an opportunity again to reconnect and have that healing and also have that love. Work on the bonding also happening there, really cementing it. On the 25th of the month, we do have Saturn turning direct in your 8th house of shared resources, as well as your self-employment income. This can indicate spousal income. This can also show up for intimacy. Now, while Saturn was retrograde for the vast majority of the last few months, You've noticed, it should have been easier for you to slip away from any kind of problems that had to do with money that was coming from outside sources, whether you may have noticed some investments starting to improve. You may have noticed that your credit, it was easier to get out of any kind of credit issues. We're going through some credit improvement. That's what Saturn's kind of working on. How do we handle our relationship with that exchange? And Saturn retrograde was also taking a lot of limitations off of your ability to expand on a personal enterprise. But when Saturn goes direct after the 25th, from now until December when he moves into Capricorn, you have to make sure that, you've expanded enough, taken advantage of that recess time so that when the clamps come back on for the last 4 months of his stay, it still feels like we've broken new ground. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it won't work. It's not black and white impossible, but it will be more difficult. So, early on in the month, especially between the 1st and the 12th, if you're trying to get some initiatives off the ground, filing applications for loans, venture capital, maybe you're trying to, again, get a business license or something like that for yourself, or invest or liquidate things, make sure that you're doing it, well before Saturn does his thing. You don't have to liquidate it entirely. It's only going to be in that spot for 4 months. You don't have to, don't liquidate your 401k over a general horoscope anyway. That's just silly. But you know what I'm saying. Grain of salt, grain of salt. You're smart. You're watching my videos. On the 26th, we do have Venus moving into Leo, into your 4th house of home and family, and bringing peace and love and harmony back into the home front. And whatever issues that Mars was bringing up on the domicile area, whatever issues and tremors were shaking all over the place, while we were doing this reparation work, while we were trying to bring everything back together, finish up old odds and ends, fixing what is broken in the family and home area, it's tense with Mars. Luckily, Venus at the end of the month is starting to patch everything back up. It's going to, give it a nice shine. It's going to beautify everything and pull people back together. It's also going to start an interesting energy from the last week of August through about the first couple of weeks of September, opening up the home and the family to new love. If you're trying to maybe you want to introduce a new lover to your family, maybe you want to start merging things a little bit, talking about moving in with your, with your lover and things like that. We just had that solar eclipse. Let's wait until after these retrogrades kind of calm the hell down. But we do have Venus in this area allowing those conversations to happen, to be enacted towards the end of September, if that is what you wish. Finally, on the 31st, we do have Mercury retrograding back into this area of your 4th house of home and family, and it is time to reconnect. And there may be an old family member, or perhaps even an old bit of family business that comes up that has been swept under the rug, and that will actually be a big portion of your September energy. This could be a long-lost relative, this could be a long-lost issue nobody bothered to finish. It's more of a September energy, but I figured I would throw it in now because you never know what happens on the 31st as well. So I hope you found this helpful, Taurus. That's your horoscope for August. Looks pretty good if you ask me. If you'd like to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.